Hello everybody, welcome to GT Planet and welcome to another video here on our channel. My name's Chaz Draycott, lead video producer for GT Planet, and I'm delighted to be back once again. And what we're doing today is taking on another daily races episode. So we've got 3 races as always, A, B and C. Race A this week is the Nissan Skyline GTR 34, the R34 V-Spec 2 at the Watkins Glen circuit, the shorter version of the circuit I believe. Race B is Group 4 cars at Brands Hatch, which I think is going to be a riot because it's the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. It's really small circuit. And we've also got Group 3 cars at Deep Forest. Now we did Deep Forest last week, so I wanted to naturally jump into Brands Hatch this week. I've just done my qualifying time trial, just about over a 48-second lap I think it was. I think it was a 48.03. Not a bad time. I was pushing it for quite a while. I did about 5 or 6 laps in the end in qualifying. And we're going to jump into the race now. I'm not sure what to expect here. We've chosen the Aston Martin Vantage, the V8 Vantage as you can see up there. The BOP has knocked it down to like 345 horsepower I think, but it still sounds fantastic. It looks fantastic. And I've not driven it in ages, so, you know, I wanted to make the most of the car and at least have a play with it. We've got a few minutes before we jump into the race though, and we'll see what this place has got in store, because the safety rating and driver rating gets affected in this one. It's not race A like it was last time out, so your ratings and everything will be affected by this, and I'm excited to see whether people take it easier than we saw last time, because in the last video that I did was absolutely brutal. So I'm excited for this because this circuit has a sort of small arena sort of vibe to it. It's all very enclosed and very small. So you've got, I think, 10 laps that we're doing today. I don't know how long the exact time is for this race, but I don't imagine it's much more than like 10-15 minutes. So I think the Group 4 cars are some of my favourites in Gran Turismo because they're not crazy powerful, so they're not sort of too difficult to handle, you know, they're not over the top, but they're just right in terms of feeling good in terms of the handling and the braking as well, because they've got those race car characteristics. So yeah, I've waffled on enough now. Let's jump into the race, shall we? Unfortunately, there's no Bosco this week. He's not going to be wandering around behind me over here. He's actually gone home now, and I'm very sad because the doggo was amazing. We're going to be starting 8th on the grid here by the look of it. We've got all manner of cars actually around us. There's a Huracan on pole position, a Genesis, Jesus Chaz, a Genesis. We've got an F-Type, a Ferrari 458, even a Supra as well. So 5 different cars in the top 5. There's an SLS ahead of me, an Evo as well, and then a 650S as well. The conditions are a little bit sort of gloomier and darker than we saw before. I don't think there's any rain due on the horizon, so I think we're all golden. I think it's just going to be a bit British in terms of the weather. Here we go then. It's definitely not looking like that in terms of the conditions right now. That noise is always so loud and so scary. I'm going to move the brake bias back a little bit. I'm going to put it maybe 3 clicks back, and we're going to keep everything else as is. Pop it on radar. There's the V8 Vantage. Not seen it in quite a while. I think the last time I used it in a video might have been at Daytona. I think it was called Globetrotting or something like that. But I really like the Vantage GT4. The newer one just doesn't quite do it as much for me as that version of the car did. I really love those Vantages. Okay. Listen to that V8. Oh, it sounds so good. Another V8 in front, of course, with the SLS in 7th position. Going to take a wider line and hopefully cut back on these guys. Now, this braking zone up here is going to be one of the key overtaking opportunities on the circuit. I've put myself in a bit of a treacherous place here, though, being on the outside. Going to slot back in there. Got a car directly behind. There's going to be a bit of a check up down the hill here. No one's sending it just yet. Got the run on the Supra though. He's actually just been hit. Staying 4th, careful of the curb. Don't think I made contact with him there. I hope I didn't, because it sounded like he suddenly had a big old slide on. Oh, understeer through clearways. And then out the final corner. Even though it's a really short lap here at Brands Hatch, it's very tricky as the Indy circuit. It's legendary. Absolutely legendary circuit. Hesitant on the brakes through there. One of the things I found during qualifying was I never really stamped on the brakes much. I found myself more sort of feathering the brakes on and off. I've got a very light brake pedal as it is with the Thrustmaster TGT2, but I was just sort of stabbing at it and then feathering it bit by bit. Just going to go for a lift through here, clip the curb, get a bit of over rotation. Car off in front. Ah, they've gone well too hot into there. I went hot into there as well, but we've gained a place on that god-awful Genesis. I mean, the car itself's quite pretty, but that livery is what we say gopping, or how we say gopping. It'd be good if I could speak English anyway while trying to explain an English phrase, wouldn't it? Anyway, couple of laps down, 6th place at the moment. Hoping to catch up with this Merc ahead of me. Graham Hill Bend's always terrifying because you're sort of onto the brakes while turning, letting the car run wide and then having to pinch it to an apex. It's not easy. Same with clearways really, you're turning while hoping to get the car on a decent racing line for the corner, but the apex just keeps going further and further away from you. It's very easy to go past the apex there. Oh, a lot of understeer there as I went on the brakes. It just tried to over-rotate. That's the thing with having a rearward brake bias, is it can be quite snappy on you, especially after the physics update a month or so ago. One of the other things about that as well is that I'm awful on the brakes. I always come off the brakes too quickly, which is really easy to do on this very light brake pedal. It's almost like pressing a button. It's on or off. Get away from that. I feel like I'm gradually catching this lot, piece by piece. Probably jinxed it, yep, that's a mistake. Always the way. Commentator's cursing myself. The Merc is braking a lot around there. I'm just sort of lifting and stabbing at the throttle a slight bit. Car into the pits. Interesting. Mercedes and the Ferrari are having a bit of a ding-dong here. Can we capitalise? I actually gave it a stab of brakes there. I didn't feel like the car was going to turn in. I don't know what it was about it. Just didn't have the confidence that time round. Why are people pitting? What have I missed? There was a car off there and I thought there was spray or water on the circuit. Change tyres or something? Do you have to go into mediums? Or wide? Whoa, that was a bit of a questionable move, wasn't it? Why are people pitting? I'm scared. I thought this was just a sprint race. Oh my god. I need to pay more attention. Well, we're up to 3rd place at the moment, behind the Mercedes. That's not the race leader in front of us, I don't think, in the Supra. Ah, man. I'm not really sure I'm confident enough anywhere to get past him here. Just hoping to hold on to a podium. disorientating having that ghost there, I won't lie. Well, leader's in, DK Racing's in, Subpar Racer hasn't come in, so I'm not quite sure what the gist is there. What have I missed, man? What have I missed? Is there a standard compound or something? A mandatory stop? I'm not sure, because you can only use the hards, can't you? They wouldn't have picked from the lead unless you had to. Well, stuff it, we're going to gun it for the line. We're going to take the win on the road. What on earth was the plan there? I know Andrew's literally just posted the article while I was racing in that. Yeah, I get a minute penalty. Andrew's literally just posted the article, so I'm sure if I open that, it's going to say something about having to take a mandatory stop in it. Still, I enjoyed that. It was a very quick blast, wasn't it? Should we do it again? I think we should do another one, shouldn't we? Let's have a look then, shall we? There's tuning options available in some of them, apparently. Yeah, notably, both races will also require a trip through the pit lane, but by the way of two differing regulation types. For race B, you'll have to head down the lane, but you don't need to take on tyres or fuel. Fantastic! Let's do it again. Oh, I got myself a 3-star roulette ticket for the driving marathon. It's not quite what it was last week, is it? Okay, there's literally minutes before the next one, so the entry deadline ends in 8.5 minutes. Let's jump back in, shall we? Let's try that again. So we've got to go down the pit lane. We don't have to take on tyres, so let's skip forward to take 2, shall we? Now, while I was sat waiting here, my wheel just randomly disconnected. I've had it happen before, actually. I was recording something a while ago for about half an hour around the Nürburgring, and the wheel disconnected 2 or 3 times in that time. Now, I've had it before where, on my sim rig previously, the reason I don't use that a lot is because I've had a lot of electrical surges go through the wheel, and it just basically disconnects when there's too much power going to it. I was sat here doing nothing with the wheel, and it's just gone. Sometimes with that one in the past, it was when it's sort of, you know, you're putting a lot of force into it and a lot of force feedback's being pushed back through, and you press a button at the same time and it sort of goes, well, I'm doing too much here, you know, I don't like it, I'm going to switch off. But it just came up with controller disconnected, and it's reconnected straight away, the force feedback's working, so hopefully that doesn't happen in the race. Right then, time for potentially a bit of redemption here. Team DK Racing's back in this one, but look at the difference now, he's up in 2nd place. There's a bunch of cars between us and them. There's that Genesis again, G70. Don't recognise anyone else on the list from the previous race. But we know now that we need to pit. We need to come into the pit lane and just go straight back out again, which I find odd, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Again, conditions don't really resemble that at the moment. Great thing is about this is that I've been recording for less than half an hour as of this moment, so it shows you just how quickly you can do one thing and then the other on this. You know, you can get the daily races out, you can get all 3 done in, I'd say, a couple of hours on most occasions. There's the big beefy backside of the V8 Vantage, got the Huracan, the GTR in there as well. A lot of the Genesis about, even one of the Megans. I've not seen one of the Megans in a while. Right, let's try that again. GTR is shimmying around in a strange manner. In towards turn 1 we go then. Take it easy the very first time. Short shift to 4th, look down the inside. Use all the curb, keep it on the curb, give him the room on the left. He's still there. Car off in front, Lambo around. Let's get back on, please. Oh, that's nice. He's got a maple leaf on the side of the car. I am going to pit early here. I'm going to get out of the shenanigans. Did he just crash into the pit lane? I think he did. Oh, I mean, I didn't mean to do that. The car broke away under brakes. Started spinning on me and then, yeah, it became a send. I didn't mean to. Sorry. That was odd by the GTR. How did he manage to do that? We're going to capitalise here, I think. No, I'm not doing that. Not one bit. I'm not having that. Not going in the middle there. That's very British touring car-esque down the inside there. And this guy has got the same idea. Oh, thank you. Really appreciate it. Goodness me. Straight out, go. Annoyingly, we lost a place to that guy because of that. I feel that was unjust. Hopefully the GTR gets feisty with him as well as it did before. Andrew did say in the article that it would be very much like a British Touring Car Championship race this, around this sprightly little circuit, and it certainly is. It's quite a frantic little race. The McGann in front is causing all sorts of havoc here. Oh, I mean, yeah. I did think for a second there, what if he wants to pit? Oh well. He's just headbutted that Lamborghini off the circuit now. 4-second penalty for Tirado. Oh, you left the door open there, son. Coming through. Not sure if that was on or not, I do apologise. The door was wide open, I thought, so, you know, when in Rome. I'm hoping that these two in front have a bit of a fight as well now and slow each other down. Are there more cars coming out the pits? There are. That awful pink Genesis is back. I feel like I've got the pace on some of these guys if they have a little bit of a scrap. Oh, that was scruffy by the GTR. Room for a little one. No. That GTR is fast. Down the inside, park it so he doesn't get a cutback. I mean, you've just... okay. I mean, he just drove completely across the curb there, I think, and then drove through me. There's getting a cutback, and then there's just getting back up the inside of the other car and driving through them. Not too impressed with that, and I can't hide it. I'd love to hide it and be like, oh, it's okay, it's just a racing incident, but no, I'm not happy about that. Gravel. You can really easily clip that gravel with the left rear through there and it'll just send you off onto the infield. Careful, hot dog. Overdone it there, son. Yeah. I didn't really compromise with the different racing line that I was taking through there, did I? Look at the Jaguar with the IKEA branding on it. This Aston feels really good around here. It feels very dependable. It feels very safe. We've gained a few places back now through the pit stops ahead of us, but we are still, down in 7th. That was not good. The engine braking just didn't seem to do anything halfway through Paddock Hill Bend. Onto the final lap we go then, and Hot Dog is right behind me. I didn't have a very good lap there. It was just a bit messy in many places. Just got to try and stay ahead of Hot Dog for this final circulation. Purple is always a good colour to see when you're trying to match a decent lap. Car off, multiple cars off, freebies, around the outside, thank you, that's one before the flag, 6th place in the end. Feel a little bit hard done by with that move. We'll obviously be able to look back at it now we've got the replay and everything, but yeah, just felt like, you know, I'd got down the inside, parked it on the apex, and he just cut the circuit almost to then just drive through me on the exit. But there's the wheels just disconnected and then it's reconnected. That's really strange. Glad it did it now and not in the race. That's always good news. Still, daily races, as always, a lot of fun. Despite that incident, it's doing it again. That's really upsetting. Still, I really enjoyed myself. I hope you've enjoyed the video as a result of this as well. And obviously check out the article, which will be linked in the description. Andrew does a fantastic job of keeping up to date with it all every single week. And yeah, hopefully see you again very, very soon here on GT Planet.